Hello everybody, my name is Sniping is Fun, and I welcome you all back to the 98th character in this long-running series of newcomer ideas for the upcoming Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And as I mentioned in the last video with May and Bowie from Fire Emblem Three Houses, the next character was going to be, or characters, really, see right there, is going to be me returning to the Kirby franchise. I've already done Bandana Wild D back at character number 20, whatever, it was been a long freaking time, and I don't think I've done a single Kirby character since then. But I kind of want to talk about these characters because I feel they would be an interesting, addition to the Kirby roster, and it represents a newer cast of characters from the games, being the newest recent one, Star Allies on the Switch. And it's a villain representation, which I know we have Meta Knight, I know we have King Dedede, but King Dedede is not really a villain anymore, and Meta Knight's more of an anti-hero. So, but then they were mostly villains back in the day, like Super Nintendo and whatnot. They haven't really been villains in the last X amount of Kirby games. So this video is going to be on a specific set of Kirby characters that are villains that represent the newest game. And they are Flamberge, Francisca, and Zan Partizanne. Yeah, these characters right here. I haven't actually played Star Allies yet. I've been wanting to get to it. It's just I have a backlog of stuff I'm trying to get to on the Switch right now, so I haven't got to the game yet. But when I've been looking at footage and looking at stuff and looking at the game, I've seen these three villainous characters and I thought they seemed cool enough, and it'd be kind of cool to see them as a 3-in-1 trio character. So that's why I'm doing this video right now. And before the video gets on too long, the intro gets on too long, 3 separate categories. Why does the characters make sense? Moveset ideas and percentage chance to actually see them getting in the game. Now, why represent these characters above like Bandana Wild D or Prince Fluff or some other old school character or some middle school middle ground like Wii or DS or Game Boy Advance character that was one of Kirby's friends or something from the Game Boy or Game Boy Advance, or maybe a game on the Wii U. Maybe have Yarn Kirby with his, or the ball Kirby from the the DS and Wii U games where you touch the screen and everything. I don't know. Why pick these characters instead? Well, first and foremost, before I talk about these characters, let's talk about Kirby in general. I do say, and I believe I said the same thing in the Bandana Wild D video, Kirby is a franchise that has a long enough history to deserve a 4th character. It really should have a 4th character. And I know Sakurai kind of, at least in Smash Bros. 4's case, given that Brawl kind of brought in Meta Knight and King Dedede, like he didn't want to play favorites, but he did the same thing when he did Kid Icarus Uprising and brought in Dark Pit and Palutena. So yeah, he plays favorites sometimes. Not only with his franchise, but with franchises he loves. He loves Xenoblade, he puts in Shulk. He loves Fire Emblem, he puts in everyone. Yeah, he plays favorites with or without his franchise. So it's not to be not expected that he's going to do that. But like Kirby is pretty much his franchise, so yeah, I could see him putting it in. But it is a franchise that's been around long enough, it's loved long enough, it has 1 million games, and it's super popular. It does deserve a 4th character. I will say that. But yeah, this character specifically, they're major characters from the new Kirby game, so it's like good advertising for the people who probably have not played Star Allies. So it's like, okay, these characters are Star Allies, let's go play them. And they're boss characters, you fight them, they're villains. And I do recall that they're pretty freaking popular. I do see people like in the community, in the YouTube and online gaming communities that played Kirby, that are fans of Kirby, that do like these characters. And it's kind of cool to see a character represent the newest game. That you never know, these characters might come back in a future Kirby game for all we know. They always seem to bring back villains. They always seem to bring back heroes and side characters and everything. So Kirby is kind of they might bring these characters back because they're popular enough. I do see them fairly well liked for their personalities and their boss battles and your fighting styles and whatnot. More villain representation is a good thing, and not just for Kirby, but for the entire Smash Bros. Series in general, where there is a severe lack of villains, and it seems like now with Smash Bros. Ultimate, they're focusing a whole heck of a lot on villains, bringing in Ridley and King K. Rool and whatnot, and the rumored like Black Shadow and whatnot, and Black Knight, and all these characters that are rumored. Oh, these villains are in story mode. These villains are boss battles. These villains are blah blah blah. More villains is a good thing, and I do think we're getting to see at least maybe one more villain as one of these newcomers in Smash Bros. Ultimate, so maybe they could make a chance, even though they're not as likely. But that's kind of cool, and I think they could present a good moveset. It's a 3-in-1 character. These are like 3 generals of the main villain in that game, so it's like the Pokemon trainer. You press down B, you switch out from Flamberge to Francisca to Zan Partizanne. If you want to know which one's which in this picture, if you ever play the game, there's Flamberge, that's Francisca, and this is Zan Partizanne. It's like the leader of the trio. They're in like a cult type group with this evil like villain that's, oh, wants to summon the darkness. That's all. That's basically a good chunk of what Kirby games are. They all summon some evil dark matter, evil force in the end. So yeah, but it's like that's what it is. And I think it'd be cool another diverse 3-in-1 character. We don't have too many 3-in-1 multiple characters in one type of thing. It really is only a Pokemon trainer, and I think they could be diverse enough to really stand out. Okay, now moveset ideas. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to do 3 different moveset ideas here, given the fact that there are 3 different fighting styles. So it's like a Charizard, Squirtle, Ivysaur kind of thing. So I have to talk about every single one. Let's start off with Flamberge, and their element is fire. Their weapon is like a fire sword, and basically the smash attacks are swinging the sword around. And I know sword haters are going to hate me, blah, blah, blah. The other 2 don't use swords, so don't even bring it up right now. But it's a fire sword. It's engulfed in flames, like spikes on the side of the handle kind of thing. And basically, the Flamberge can do multiple jabs with the sword and then swing up and down like, or go forward like a dash forward like jab type move, which could be a good combo starter, really. And that's the smash attacks. Now, the special attacks for specifically Flamberge are all different fire projectile type attacks. Basically, they can do a ground jab where they take their sword and just jab into the ground. Think Link's downwards B move with the sword. Or down A, I mean. Sorry. His smash attack. And then Flamberge can also do a sword ground slash. So they can slash the ground and it causes flames to just go up like forward like 5 feet in front of them. They just slash the ground in flames. So it's like a distance attack, but not something like projectile you throw, but more like bringing flames up from underneath the ground, which would be good distance. And you gotta keep your distance and not get engulfed in flames. They could do a flame cannon. Flamberge can pull out this giant cannon and shoot like just a flame beam like forward. So that's the ranged attack, or one of 2 ranged attacks. And then there's also a flame meteor rock thing. So they could swing their sword and it shoots out like these flame meteor rocks across the stage, like 2 or 3 of them. And that one especially could be an air maneuver, like when they're in the air. There you go. Now let's get on to Francisca. There it is. There's Francisca. Her abilities are ice, like a waterish ice type of thing. She uses like this ice rod. Like, we haven't seen a character really use a rod in Smash Bros. So that's kind of cool. It's like this ice rod that's like all made out of ice and like these little ice particles coming off of it. It's kind of cool. She can dash with it, so she just like slides across the ground and like whoo, and dashes forward. She can also swing it up, forth, and down. And she has what is essentially like Ike's Great Ether. She can just go up and just be like whoo, whoo, whoo. So that's gonna be some of her smash attacks. Her special attacks are all ice-based projectile type moves. She can pull out like this ice gun mechanism type of thing and shoots ice, and it can bounce off the wall. So if she's shooting it like forward, like just woo, boo, 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 boo. She can shoot ice beams off the walls. She can ground stab as well, so it's like the same thing with like Flamberge's sword. She can just take her giant rod, just like just jab it into the ground, and it can cause ice. So if you're next to it, you can probably freeze your opponent. Like I said, the Great Ether downspin, which will be more so, I'd say more so a special for her. Like a more powerful version will be her special, so more ice-based. But a standard version will be in her smash attacks. She just jumps up, flips, and just slashes her rod into the ground, wherever her opponent would be. So basically Great Ether. And she can shoot ice shards out of her rod. She'd be like, whew, and this ice rods go, pew, pew, pew. And that could be a good in-air attack too. Oh, before I even mention anything, these characters float around. So they're very, very agile. They can fly up in the sky. Maybe you can make them kind of hover a little bit like Kirby, because Kirby can be like, boo, 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 boo. So they can fly around a little bit. They can be like, boo, 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 or something like that. So they're very agile, fast, quick characters. And that's it for Francisca. Now, Zan Partizanne, which is power, her power is lightning. So she's an electric character. She basically has a spear. She has a lightning spear. We don't have too many spear characters in this game. Actually, I don't think we have a single spear character in this game. That's the reason why I named it like Dimitri from Fire Emblem and, Bandana Wild D. And I've had at least 2 other characters, 1 or 2, 3 other characters in my list that's been spear users. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, the lightning thing from the guy from Dark Souls, throwing spears. So she has like a lightning spear. She can do multiple jabs too. So she can take her spear and be like, she can also swing it up and down, swings it up, swings it down. There you go. There's her smash attacks. And her special attacks will basically be a down stab ground. So they all have the ability to stab their weapon into the ground. So she just with her spear into the ground. She has a cloud lightning storm thing, so she could summon like this cloud that just little lightning storms like. So she can summon clouds that move around, just like lightning storm, thunderstorms come out of it and hit the stage. And if your opponent gets hit, obviously they get damage. She shoots lightning from her weapon, so she can charge like her this gun mechanism, weapon mechanism. She can pull out, and she shoots this giant lightning beam out of it. And she could shoot like these lightning balls. So it's like the ice shards from Francisco, or the fire meteor rock type things from Flamberge. She could just be like swinging her like around like, and like these energy lightning balls just come down. They usually aim for the ground. There's their special attacks. So very fire-based with a sword and shooting out rocks and hitting the ground, and flame cannons. Very ice maneuver with an ice rod. You can shoot energy ice beams off walls, shoot ice shards and great ether type stuff. And a lightning spear that can be used to stab the ground, summon the cloud, do lightning, shoot lightning balls, and shoot a giant energized weapon of lightning. So there you go. So the final smash, quite frankly, I was originally going to go for spoilers, especially because I actually kind of got spoiled on the final boss battle. Like, their cult evil leader dude kind of uses them as a shield at the end, so I was thinking, okay, maybe that they get used as like this shield, and he summons them like, they're all like zombies, like, at the end, like they're all like his shield, and he attacks the opponents. But I didn't want to really include him in the final smash. I didn't really want to include them being used in their final smash, so I'm making an original moveset for them. They're going to take, it's going to be one of each, every one. It's going to be similar to like the ultimate 3 strike from Charizard, Blastoise, Squirtle, Izor, Charizard. Like how the Pokemon trade does the ultimate attack. It's going to be kind of like that. They're all 3 of their weapons. The flame cannon, the ice gun, and the giant weapon that shoots out lightning. So they all just charge up their weapons, and you get electrocuted, frozen, and burned all the time. So it's just basically they come out. There you go. You get burned a lot. Any opponent that gets caught, it's not cutscene based. They just come out and shoot a giant energy beam out. So you probably have to be on the sides of the arena in order to do this. And some arenas probably would screw you over anyway. So yeah, the final smash probably needs specific placement. They shoot across the stage, kind of like the Mario finale. And you get electrocuted, frozen, and burned alive all at the same time. Get blown off the stage. There you go. Some sort of team up kind of maneuver. And third category, percentage chance I can see him actually getting in. It's not good, really it isn't, but I could see a potential in Sakurai picking them. They just aren't as likely as like a Prince Fluff or a Bandana Wild D or anything. Especially Bandana Wild D, given that he's the main of the 4 heroes, especially now in Star Allies, so it's the same game. He's been the main hero. Return to Dreamland, Star Allies. For the longest time it's been Kirby's Player 1 and Player 2 and 3 are like, King Deity, and Meta Knight, and Player 4 is like Bandana Wild D. He's been around long enough. He's probably the next obvious choice, unless some other character really stands out for, Sakurai. Their percentage, I'm giving them about a 20-30% chance. It's very, very unlikely, but there's still a small percentage chance there. I'm going to just cap it in the middle. 25% chance. 25. It's not super likely. They're more likely than some Kirby characters, but they're not super likely given that they probably won't ever come back to the series. I said they might come back at the beginning, but sometimes that happens and sometimes it doesn't. And even if it does happen, who's to say it's the next Kirby game? What if it's on like the Switch's successor in like 3, 4, 5, 6 Kirby games in like 10 years? That's the kind of thing that happens. Like some of these Kirby characters disappear, then get brought back many games later. I mean, they're cool characters and all that, but they're likely a one-off villain, and that's probably going to hurt their chances. But I say 25% chance because they're super relevant right now, and they're super popular, and it's a 3-in-1 character, so it's super diverse. And I would like to see something like that, like another multiple characters in one type situation. And I do have at least 1 or 2 characters on my list, like going on there. They're going to be another multiple characters in one, because I really want to see more than just a Pokemon trainer do something like that, especially now that we're finally getting a system that's powerful enough to handle the multiple characters in one, and they're bringing back the Pokemon trainer. I would like to see at least 1 more. So yeah, hopefully Sakurai, you have something like that in mind for some character, even if they're DLC. But yeah, I'd say 25% chance. Not great, but there's still a small percent chance there, a little bit more than some characters, but not as much as others. It goes anyway. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to say 20%. 20% exact. Not 25, not 30. 20% exact. Not very likely, but still possibly there. So there you go. That's it for Flamberge, Francisca, and Zan Partizanne from the Kirby franchise. And that's it for character number 98. Stay tuned next time when I come back for character number 99. When I go and I jump back into yet another Sega franchise. I've been doing a whole lot of those lately, haven't I? I've done like, within the last like 10 videos, probably like 4 Sega characters like Sakura and Axel Stone and Kazuma Kiryu and all that stuff. Yeah. But next time we'll be talking about another franchise that just recently started coming to Nintendo and started last generation on the PlayStation 3 and whatnot. And it has become such a very popular, Sega franchise, and that's Valkyria Chronicles. And I'm not going to be talking about a Valkyria Chronicles 4 character just yet, but I want to talk about the main character from the original game, Welkin Gunther. Put in the comment section what you guys think. Do you guys like these characters from Kirby? Blah, blah, blah. Discuss it there. Have fun and stay tuned for character number 99 when we jump back into Sega. See you.